Yo, what's going on, my fellow Tigers fans, and welcome to another Detroit sports session here on my sport channel. I almost forgot what channel I was on. We want to talk about the Tigers, like the entirety of this. It won't be a video where it's about the Red Wings and the Pistons. It's just entirely a Tigers pre-draft conversation. I know it's a little like delayed to do a Tigers pre-draft conversation, but the reason why it's a late video is one, I upload generally once a week on this channel when it comes to sports, as well as I want to do like a good bit of I want to say research is the right word to use, but try to build a consensus on what's going on around the Tigers draft, primarily like the first round picks and second round picks, like the first 3, 4, 5 rounds, and just see like how other sportcasters or articles are kind of like speaking on this subject, as well as see what the fans are saying. Because like I said, when it comes to this channel, when it comes to talk about my sport teams, I want to kind of bring in a positive fan aspect, but also factor in everything that fans are saying. So right now, for those who don't know what's going on with the Tigers fan base, a lot of fans are not happy with the Tigers draft because a lot of high school players got taken, and Tigers fans, they want they want the team to be more aggressive, get some guys who can be playing in the majors next year at the earliest, or maybe they'll be in AAA for half a season and get moved up. Basically, the fans, like I said in the last video, are tired of losing, tired of being in rebuild, and they want a little bit more of an aggressive push from the team. So I understand that aspect, but we got to consider what's going on with this team and understand that this team isn't where we want them to be. It is the reality of the situation. But just in general, though, it's not like the Tigers had a bad draft. By most metrics that I've looked at, when it comes to like other websites, when it comes to draft grades, most people are giving the Tigers at worst a B, and at best, like a B plus or A minus. And when like generally when it comes down to it, where people are differentiating on why their goal lower or higher is passing on Wyatt Langford. For a lot of people, including fans, that's who the Tigers were expected to take. That's what fans want them to take. And because of that thirst and need for the team to make a move on this particular person, anything the Tigers did after not taking Langford made everyone mad. So they didn't think about the actual picks themselves and the impact of those picks, what impact those picks could have. Like, for example, when it comes to like Max Clark, who was our first pick with the third selection, he's being viewed as basically like a generational talent. Like, I've seen headlines of him being like the best player we've seen in decades. People are comparing him to Mike Trout, comparing him to Griffey Jr. They're comparing him to I've seen people calling him the next Bryce Harper. He just won an award Wednesday at the ESPYs for like what, a Gatorade Male Player of the Year, or it's like just general, like not even like male, just like the National Player of the Year from Gatorade. It's like he's being touted as like this next amazing player, and fans aren't that excited about him. I've seen people who are like hold our horses on when it comes to like getting hyped up. He could be another bust. The Tigers just take bust. Again, what I said in the last video, a lot of negativity in this fan base, no optimism whatsoever, just always go right to the negativity. And yeah, he is a high school kid. He could end up not being any of those things, or he might be exactly what people think he is. Sometimes in sports, they're not wrong. When people freaking view Zion as being like this next great talent, Zion's the real deal. He just can't stay healthy. How often are people wrong about that assessment, though? People viewed Griffey Jr., they viewed, Vlad Guerrero Jr., they viewed all these great players right now. They were being viewed that way back then, too. LeBron James has been touted the way he is since high school. So, yeah, it's possible that we literally just got a player who could be this amazing freaking player. But again, people don't want to acknowledge that because he's a high school kid. People want to acknowledge that because we wanted right. I didn't want Langford. I wanted Cruz, and if we couldn't get Cruz, then it's like, all right, well, best player available, in my opinion. But because fans didn't get who they wanted, though, they're kind of like just throwing shade at Clark, or ignoring the Clark pick and downplaying that Clark pick. Yeah, it's a big risk. Taking a high school kid is a big risk. But boom or bust, right? Your team rebuilding. For all we know, he might even be in the minors that long. Like thinking about what like the Orioles. The Orioles are like, I think recently it was actually today. This video didn't record on Wednesday. Was it Thursday? I think it's Thursday 13th. Part of my English, I stutter sometimes. It's Thursday 13th, and today the Orioles are promoting Jackson Holiday to AA. the Tigers can do the same thing with Max Clark. If he's looking like he's a great player who could, make a splash sooner rather than later, you could see him move up the minors very, very quickly. It's possible. It just depends on his development. And yeah, I get it. You people want someone who can be on the team next year. I understand that. But look at the team. We gotta accept reality that even next year, this team, regardless of having Wyatt Langford, wouldn't be a playoff team. So would it really matter if like, let's just say hypotheticals. So this is all hypotheticals. Let's say Langford's ceiling is just being, a really good player. And then you have Max Clark, whose ceiling is being a perennial all-star. That's an easy thought to get into. You're looking for that long-term future instead of like this guy who is already, basically pro ready, might be good, but he might not. Look at our track record as a team when it comes to our draft picks. And then and with the 37th pick, we took Max Clark's freaking teammate from Team USA. The under 18 baseball team, they won the World Cup against freaking Japan. So it's like, and we got his teammate. And I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but if I pronounce his name wrong, I apologize. Kevin, I got to up here. I'm trying to pronounce it right. If I don't, Kevin, sorry. McGonigal. We're gonna go with that. That's what it looks like it reads, or McNiggle. We're trying to. We gotta be careful with that NIG right, my guy. Anyways, we're getting off track. But Kevin, Max Clark's teammate from the under 18 team, is being viewed as an A+ pick by a lot of metrics. Also, people also just have him as a low A. Another high school guy, a lot of potential to be really, really good. And and all things considered, we probably will need a new shortstop at some point. And then we got a second baseman in Max Anderson from Nebraska. So we went from two high school guys to a college guy. So we didn't go all high school guys. He looks like he's promising. Again, we might need another second baseman. McKinstry's doing pretty good, and who knows how far along or how far off Max Anderson will be. We've got guys still down there in the minor leagues who could potentially be decent major league second basemen. And then to round things off, we got a right-handed pitcher, Paul Wilson, third baseman Carson Rucker, and then we got Jaden Ham, another pitcher. So that's the top five. So considering those being the top five, you didn't like, okay, so should we be excited to see these guys? We've already gotten these other draft picks from the past who are supposed to be really good, like Ty Madden, like Jace Jung, and these other guys. What about, so are these new draft picks going to be that slow? Like I said, we could have Max Clark go right through, just like how Jackson Holiday is already going to freaking AA. The same thing could happen with Jackson. We haven't done that with anybody else. I think Jace Jung got to AAA this year. I think Jackson Jobe is still like single A, which you kind of want Jackson Jobe to be higher than that at this point. He's 20 years old. Wilmer Flores is in AA. He's 22. Ty Madden's in AA, 23. So it's like these guys should have been like, you ideally you want them to be further along. Yeah, Cole Keith is in AAA. And everyone's excited for him to like go ahead. Like, I have a ranking pulled up for projections and pipelines. According to this list I'm looking at, the projection for Jace Jung is 2025 when it comes to him coming to the majors. Jacob Jobe projection 2025. Peyton Grimm's projection. We just drafted Kevin. Kevin's a shortstop. Peyton Graham, shortstop. Graham's projection 2025. Currently in single A. It's like, when you're a Tigers fan, like, this is why I said I understand the hesitation, the frustration when it comes to these draft picks. When you look at our pipeline, our prospects in MLB, you will look at that and be like, okay, none of these guys has been called up. None of them are even near being called up. We think Colt Keith is going to be close. We think Justin Henry Malloy is going to be close. What about Isaac Pacheco? I apologize if I pronounced the last name wrong. Where is he at? Again, projections 2025. Majority, if you look at the Tigers, I can actually, I'm gonna pull up for you. Watch this. So y'all don't have to look at, you don't have to Google this yourselves. I'll show you right now. When you look at these projections, ETA on their arrival, majority of this list is 2025, with a few 2024s. But for the most part, the thought process here is 2025. So for the most part, when it comes to like the projections. So it's like, so when you're a Tigers fan and you see things like this and you're like, okay, so if you throw in, Kevin McNichol, throw in Max Anderson, you throw in, Max Clark, where do they fall in line when it comes to projections? Where do they fall in line when it comes to expectations? Parker Meadows is on here, expected to be on the team next year when it comes to the Tigers. But what if he doesn't? What if he gets pushed back? Because we just don't know. Winston Perez, well, thinking of before when he came to like second baseman, he's 23 years old and he's not up here now. It's like, what is the expectations here? We're praying that Colt Keith can be the guy. We're praying that JHM can be the guy. We're praying that Jacob Job can be a guy. We're praying that Wilmer Flores is him. We're hoping all these things, but we haven't seen like anything really being spoken of or positive about any of our prospects other than Colt Keith and Malloy when it comes to who you could be looking forward to right now, and Parker as well, Park Meadows as well. It's been someone we've been hearing a lot of good things about and being able to be excited for. I might be forgetting, but I think one from us has also had like pretty good press and news around him. So I understand why Tigers fans are, not as excited for, the draft. But I always say this when it comes to being a fan. Sometimes you got to grab onto some optimism. The universe is very funny. If you do too much preaching of negativity, that's all you're going to get. It's just negativity. But if you decide to be more positive and hopeful, and you breathe in some kind of excitement and energy into the team, things will change. I'm hoping that Max Clark is what they say he's going to be. They're saying he's the next Mike Trout, saying he's the next Bryce Howard, saying he's the next Griffey Jr., saying he's the best talent we've seen in decades. I hope that's what happens. I'm not going to be negative about that pick at all. If Kevin McNichol can be an amazing shortstop, please, we need it. Like, I want to be happy for the future. I really do. I want to see this team make some changes in this year's this year's trade before the deadline happens, and next year as well. Sign some guys. Like I said in the last video, Todd Jones made reference that the Tigers should sign Matt Chapman during all season because he's a free agent. Do it. How good would it be to have Max Chapman on like a 2-3 year deal and Colt Keith as his backup? In his spare time, Colt Keith could also be freaking splitting some games with McKinstry at second base. So that sounds like an ideal situation. Go out there and do a trade for another outfielder this year, not next year. Because we kind of need someone as our day-to-day guy. Tyler O'Neill's available. We can send a pitcher to the Cardinals and for O'Neill, and O'Neill can sit there in left field or right field until we feel like Clark is ready. You can make some moves to make the team better for the future and right now with trades and with free agency, and not feel like there is no depth, because this team needs depth. It's not just about having great starting players. You need some good depth. And you Tigers fans, damn well I'm right, because look at our injuries. We are constantly getting the worst injuries. We need people to be able to slide in and help the team out. And what better way than having a pipeline of really good players who can come in for those veterans? Like, again, if we signed Matt Chapman in 2024, if we trade for someone like Tyler O'Neill this season. I'm just trying to be a little more positive, look at the outlooks of things like that. I just want to be a positive fan. I'm looking forward to what the future of the Tigers could be. If they're bad, it's going to be annoying. If all those players don't pan out, it's going to be annoying. But I'll take being optimistic for my sport teams than being hateful towards them 24/7. That's just me. I will always on my chest and salute my teams until the day I'm no longer on this planet. I'll always be realistic too. If they're bad, I'll call them bad. If the move they make is bad, I'll say it was a bad move. But at the exact same time, I will be optimistic and I will believe there's a chance that they could succeed and do better. With all that said, if your boy, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Do all things out like the video, comment, subscribe. In my description box below is a link tree. Link tree has links to all my channels. So I do have more than one channel. This is my third channel. My first channel is my gaming channel. It's my primary channel. a reaction channel, a comic book channel, and then of course this channel. Also have a Twitch stream where I stream Monday, Thursday, playing some video games. You know, I'm a very, very active chatter, so if you want to come to my stream and talk and chat about sports, feel free. We don't have to talk about the game at all. We can just talk about whatever you want to talk about in that Twitch stream. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all stay safe. Be out under the B-boy and Manubis. I'm out of here. Deuces.